All right, good morning, everyone. In this video series, we're gonna go over some stuff that I actually went over I actually dealt with yesterday in my food truck or food trailer. Actually, is what I have. Um, and I wanted to go over: is it worth going out when the weather is bad? Because this is, I feel like this is something I debate with all the time. And I was like, well, this will make a good video because yesterday the weather was pretty crappy. We've actually gotten hail quite a bit this week, but actually at this point I want to go over that I don't personally really even check the weather anymore. In Colorado, the weather comes and goes so much that I don't know. Even if it says that it's going to hail later that day, I'm still going to go out and sail. We had a catering event the other day. We had like almost golf ball sized hail in the while we were selling, and it still didn't deter us. We ended up like everybody went inside, and then once the hail stopped, everybody came back out, and we just sold to them. If I got to patch anything on the roof, I mean, I personally would rather go out and make money. Plus, it looks good on you because it doesn't matter. The weather isn't deterring you from making money or showcasing your business. So I do have a few points down here that I wanted to make. I want to go over some negatives and positives. Some of the negatives that I wrote down, guys, that your sales are probably going to be cut in half, sometimes maybe even quartered. I mean, if you're planning on going to like a good spot of yours and you normally make like $1,000, what you're thinking, ooh, $1,000 is a lot. In the food business, it's not as much as you think. You know, you got to think about average 30% food costs, and then in Colorado, it's 30% taxes that you should be putting away. You know, that leaves you 40% already. So if you got to like pay your bills and pay somebody else, it's just like things definitely get, if you're going to go out with an employee and sales are going to be halved, it might not be worth you going out that day. But that's where I always say, like, you should have your business created around that. You really don't have to have an employee unless you're in a restaurant. I really think that you should be able to run your food truck by yourself, because if you have to rely on somebody, then that's just, I mean, how can your business make money? It's like you can only make money half the time, I feel like. And then another thing I wrote down was put yourself in the customer's shoes. I mean, you got to think about it. If it's pouring outside, like literally at the moment it's pouring and it's gonna pour for the next 4 hours, like, do you want to leave your house and go stop on the side of the road and get somebody's food truck? Like, even if it's the best food in the world, you're probably like, I'm just gonna stay inside today and eat Stouffer's meal because that's just what I have to do because I'm not about to go out in the rain. I mean, you will get those hardcore people, but it's just, don't waste your product. And if it's gonna be like that it's only gonna be an hour that day, like maybe you should have a 10 by 10 canopy set up and have like sandbags on it and everything. That way, God forbid, like rain does come through and you do have a customer out there, he's at least standing under it and be like, thank you. I appreciate you at least making sure that I'm good and I'm covered. Um, Also, I wanted to keep going on to that point that sometimes the weather can be a little bit more costly when you go out, because let's say you do put up a canopy. I've had two canopies now on me with the sandbags attached, like fly in the air from the Colorado winds and just rip it apart. But I've been out doing this 2.5 years and I've spent probably $150 to $200 on these canopies. Like, it's just a part of the game. I put that in the plan. You should always just have envelopes on the side putting $5 bills in for these things to happen again. Like I talked about in one of my other videos, was that I recommend having a backup generator. It's like you got to be mindful of these things. If it's pouring and you have your generator on the ground and you have literally like flooding water coming down the side of the road, these are things that could destroy your generator, or literally, you know what I mean? And they can stop your business just because you wanted to go out that day. So you kind of have to judge it by ear. Like when it's snowing really hard, I don't go out. But if I know that like it's going to snow and then the sun's going to come out by noon, like I'm going out, because in Colorado by 1 o'clock the snow's melted half the time. So some of the positives though of going out is that like it's a perfect time to start taking pictures of your content. You don't have customers coming in, your food's all fresh, you're standing inside, like turn on the lights, even if you have to get a ring light just to like make your food look really good. Those are the days, like take just over stupid amounts of pictures. And that way, that day, maybe you post one or two and be like, hey, we're dealing with the weather. We're out here, guys, showing people that you care. But now for the next month, you have pictures. And you can reuse those pictures over time, because it's like, if you use one picture and then you don't show it again for another 3 months, like, it's good content. People, it's more about like maybe what you're saying at that point, or the audience that you're attracting on what platform you're on, because TikTok is different than Facebook. Like Facebook, it's more about what you're saying and the picture. It's about what you're saying and the content and where you're going to be. Some things are just like I know YouTube Shorts and like TikTok and stuff, people just want to see stuff. So maybe just do a picture of you zooming in on your sandwich real quick, and have those kind of videos so that you can post them in the morning when you're really tired, like I am today, and you don't want to do anything. You already have something to be able to post. Um, so my next point, and this is my biggest point because I'm like a super cleanly person. Clean your food truck. You gotta make sure it's clean. Like, you're gonna get stung with the health department once in a while, even if you don't think you will. Like, the moment you go to some rally, that's the day that they're just sitting there at the rally waiting for the new truck that they haven't hit come up yet. um, Clean your food truck. Like, just when you got that downtime, like, just literally get in there, pull things out, clean it all up, and then that way you don't have to wait till the one day on your day off to pull everything out. Like, that's why I believe in going out when the weather's bad. Now, if you actually have like a big food truck, the weather probably isn't going to deter you as much, because it's like a UPS truck. Like, the weather is just, your truck sits so high up, especially if your generator's off the ground. For me, like, I have a trailer with my old van towing it, so it's just like I got to be kind of weary like of the weather. I'm still like three, almost 2.5 3 years in my business. It's like my tires, I'm about due for a new set, so like, it's like I got to be mindful, but I still try to go out. And I know Colorado, again, the weather just comes right through. If your state is like gonna flood you out, it's probably not worth you going out. um Also, think about, uh, like, if the customer comes up to your truck and it is winter time, like, this is a big deal, because do you have a heater out there? Back to the canopy thing, like, all of these things, if you have a light out there and you got a heater for them and a canopy, you really could build a crowd off of that. Like, I have music on my trailer. Like, these things attract the customer, and then they come back next time and they're like, I just had a good experience. I went out there, I was kind of cold that day, I was really hungry. I was standing under the canopy with a little kerosene heater. Maybe you have a hole cut in the top of your canopy so it's venting out, and you're literally just sitting there. They're sitting there warming up while they're waiting for your food to be cooked, and then they go home and they had a really good meal by you. Like, those are the days you get good reviews, guys. And I'm telling you, those are the days where on your slow day next time, you got somebody that's craving your food again, and then they look at your review that was left by somebody. They didn't know that the review was left on a day that was really slow for you. Could have been the only customer you had that day. I've actually had 3 reviews, believe it or not, on a slow day before, and it's just because you're given top-notch customer service. Customer service is everything. It's like going to the barber and having a barber that talks to you, and he really, really like has a genuine conversation with you, but he's also been cutting hair for 20 years and gives you real expertise. Excuse me. Um, and then actually, I just kind of covered my last thing about being more personable. But yeah, I'm trying to think of anything else. Other than that, like, I'd just say overall, guys, that like I think that it is worth you going out when the weather's bad, because in the first like year and a half, all I did was sit there and like look at the weather app and just tell myself every day like whether I'd go out or not. I really think you should just like treat it like a real job. Run it 5 6 days a week. I think like making yourself on kind of a schedule, it's better that way, because then when you look at the weather all week, you're like, oh gosh, it's going to rain 5 days straight. Well, it's like, if you're going out 5 days, you're like, no, I'm going out to make money, and then you might be surprised where the other 2 trucks at this event canceled and you're the only one there, and you make triple the money. Because I'm telling you, these things happen like that. You just got to always stay positive. I went to the brewery yesterday, and I was actually expecting to make a certain amount of money, and I made 2/3 of what I was thinking I was going to make, and I was really happy with that. Like I said, most of the time it's half, but like I was not mad, because then I was like, well, like, I went out the last 5 6 days this week. It's overall been an excellent week for me. I still have today as my last day before I have a couple days off, but I'm telling you guys, like, you just keep grinding it out and it adds up. I mean, it's like look at it like this: if you go out and you make $400 and really you're taking home 200, maybe you paid an employee that day $60 and you made $130. Maybe that's what you made at your job before, and it's just another day out there working for yourself, not working for somebody else. So I really recommend it, guys. Get out there unless the weather's truly bad. Cheers.